You're listening to Creating a Universe, a Love Anarchy podcast hosted by William J. Rogers. On this show, we follow the journey of creatives, artists, and entrepreneurs who are making a name for themselves in the ever-evolving landscape of today's industry, featuring an insight into both Love Anarchy and the Lovaniverse music universe, as well as the individual projects and stories of each of our guests, from the music industry and beyond. So whether you're a budding creative or simply interested in what goes on behind the scenes, this is the podcast for you. Hello and welcome to Creating a Universe. I'm your host, William J. Rogers, and today I'm here with Wana White of the cyber pop rock band Ardenite. Hi, Wana. How are you?
Hi, William. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks so much.
Yeah, it's so good to have you here. So just to kick things off for our listeners and such that might not have heard of you, would you be able to just give us a bit of an introduction and overview of who you are and what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So as mentioned, I'm Wana White from Ardenite. You said it absolutely perfectly.
Good.
Yeah, so, just a girl living her deepest dream since childhood. Wonderful. So if I remember correctly, as far as I can remember, my parents were asking me what I want to be, and I always said I want to be a singer in a band.
Great.
And yeah, I don't know about you or how you were encouraged with your musical career, but for me, it was never really taken seriously. I got some nice sentences to hear, like, yeah, okay, but what are you really going to do? Like, what?
Yeah, I think that surely that's most of us. Yeah, that we get that. Yeah.
And I was very much discouraged by that, and followed for a long time a career in IT, which I am still doing. Mm-hmm. But as I was getting older, I started feeling really unhappy, and I started digging into my actual passion, which was music, and I started doing more and more of that. That's how I also founded the band together with Sebo. Sebo Green is my bandmate, and that was one of the big corner points in my life where I really started to feel like, okay, this is it. Everything before that was just something, and now I found it. And basically since then, that was 4 years ago, struggling to do it full time, and I wasn't doing it full time so far. I am still actually this month working full-time for my IT job. I'm a Scrum trainer, a freelance Scrum trainer also, and only working part-time for Ardenite. And now finally, starting with July, I will switch it up. I will work full-time for Ardenite, which is my dream. And only. Yes, thanks so much. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, that's a great story. I mean, that's very relatable. I'm sure that I definitely did the same. I had to just work jobs that, I felt a little soulless, and I was always yearning to, get back to music. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. But, if you can perhaps tell the story which you have, which is that you actually went and did it for yourself. So that's really cool.
Yes.
Nice. And then a very exciting time to get to chat to you then, if you're kind of on the cusp of making that transition now. That's
exactly it. I'm so happy we're having this moment here, and I think we got a lot of in common, you and I, then, with this transition.
Seems so. Yeah, seems so, which is really cool. Plenty we can talk about, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, if we can quickly, perhaps let's talk briefly just about Ardenite and the music and the kind of unique sort of style you have.
I noticed you checked it out on YouTube with your Love
on YouTube
Anarchy
and Spotify and everything. Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think I've seen a couple of niches that you've put there, but cyber pop rock, that's the kind of main kind of vibe that I'm getting, which is really cool. And you guys have this kind of cyberpunk sort of aesthetic.
Yes.
I love the color combo that you've got going on here.
Pretty strong.
Yeah. What would you call
coming
that?
at
Like
you.
cyan and magenta, something like.
Yeah, absolutely. We would call it magenta and turquoise or
Yeah,
turquoise.
turquoise. Yeah.
That's right.
Cool. Yeah, it's a very bold combination. I love it. So, yeah, and I mean that's kind of a style that you've developed over time, right? But
That's right. That's right. It was all a work in progress. As mentioned, we started off 4 years ago, actually, exactly in the summer of 2018. And we also had more bandmates at the time. I think we started the 5 of us in the beginning. Okay. So I was kind of like searching for bandmates, just making sure that it's gonna be a band, which correlates with my soul this time. I was also in a couple of bands before, mostly cover bands. And, I was always writing on the social media something like singer searching for band.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it wasn't going to be like I imagined, maybe the band was already singing together for a couple of years. And then I was the new one, not much to say in that.
Sure.
And then finally, I gathered enough confidence to say, I'm going to start my own thing now. And it's going to be, according to how I feel, according to my heart. And I'm going to be the singer, because I was also kicked out of a band after 1 year of being there, because they decided after 1 year, we want a male singer. And I was like, guys, you could have told me this when I joined.
Yeah.
So that was really awkward. And it was kind of like a breakup, actually, for me. I cried one day.
That's pretty rough, yeah.
Yeah. And then, after 2 more years, I decided, okay, but now I'm going to start my own band. I'm going to be the singer. So that's settled.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can't kick me out of my own band.
Yeah. And cool. We started off the 5 of us. And, from the beginning, as you mentioned, we started trying to define what is this going to be. And basically we started off by, I think many bands start off by mimicking some of their favorite bands, right? So I had and still have favorite bands like The Pretty Reckless, Hailstorm, New Year's Day, Paramore, and there's a pattern there.
That was exactly what I picked up. So we're going back to like your first single, Love Drug Addict, right?
Yes,
and I listened to that and I thought like, oh right. Obviously I heard your more recent stuff first, the more electro stuff, and I heard that and I was like, oh, it sounds a lot like Pretty Reckless. Like I definitely get that vibe, which is cool. I mean, I'm a fan of that stuff, but yeah, so I suppose that's where you started off with.
Yeah, exactly. That was the first single we ever released, Love Drug Addict. We also called it like a demo because, we were
I saw that on YouTube.
Yeah. We weren't sure exactly of our own style. And that's why we started with something which seemed familiar, something which also I felt like fitted my voice quite well. But still, I was feeling that we were trying to be like somebody, right?
Sure.
Just discovering who we were. And, as time progressed and we lost, we lost member by member because of different reasons. But some of, for example, the first guy left because he said, this is too hardcore for him. He imagined this is more in the pop direction. And we were like, oh, sorry, we still want to be a rock band. So sorry for that. And, he parted. So it was really like a soul searching kind of journey. And then the people left who didn't feel anymore like this is their journey or their direction, or even that maybe they don't have enough time to invest in a band, not knowing how much return of investment this would be one day.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So finally, Sebo and I were the two ones left. And we were standing before a great decision. What will we do now? Will we just split up, and we couldn't do that. The two of us were like, no. We got so many, songs on the bench, which cannot be in vain. And we really feel like this is our life's work. So we couldn't let it die. And we said, okay, if we don't let it die, and if we don't want to get any more members, we're just going to be a duo.
Yeah, that's
so
great.
and I guess this was also very, very helpful to finally decide on our genre, right? Because with many members, they also have very different expectations, very different even work ethics, and even very different favorite bands. Even if we're all into rock and metal, still there are some influences in each and every one of us. And I think as we got the two of us, Sebo and I, we were finally able to pinpoint, okay, so this is where we want to go. Okay, so we don't have a fixed the drummer anymore. In that case, we can now do it more electronic, also electronic drums. And coincidentally, this was the direction in which we wanted to go. We wanted to keep the soul of the rock and metal, but still, having it go through this transition, which I think is happening in the music and in the world. And we wanted it to sound very state of the art, right? With new technology. And very important, we wanted to put a piece of ourselves in there. As you can see, the colors.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
This was one of the first things we aligned, actually, that we're not going to be a rock band with black and white or red and black color scheme, because that's not how we felt. And also I think we lived a long time in this kind of pattern in which a society puts us into, right? Like, oh, you're a girl, so you should be like this. You're a boy or a guy, and you should be like this. You should never show any emotion, right? Because you're a tough guy, and it's a sign of weakness, and stupid things like that. Like, we're not all human. And so I figured it has to be really authentic. If it has to transcend time and be something worthwhile, which can stand out, then it needs to touch people's hearts. And the only thing I think that's, if you have a better idea, please let me know.
I'm very interested in what you're saying right now.
But from my experience, I figured the only way you can touch people's hearts is if it really comes directly out of your own heart. And some of the songs which we have put out there, sometimes I don't even manage to sing them without crying.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, because maybe you notice the lyrics, they are very kind of handling some serious topics. And so they really do come from the heart. And once you listen to the lyrics, maybe the listener can also feel that. We got some feedback that it's it's really going under their skin and getting giving them goosebumps and that's exactly the thing which I think we want to achieve with heart to heart connection and building a real relationship and community.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. Yeah, that's what it really comes down to, and you do have to just be authentically yourself. I mean, if you try to be something else, then people can tell that. And so
that's right.
Yeah, I think you've done a fantastic job. And yeah, it's very cool. I mean, that being said, this whole turquoise magenta theme that you have, the kind of really bold, striking branding almost with your project, I did actually notice that still came out in your early stuff. So you hadn't accentuated it to the point that you do now, but I noticed like one of the early single covers where you had the different colored gloves.
And there weren't even gloves. It was the actual painting
Oh, it's paint.
on my hands.
Paint. Wow, cool. The image was too small on Spotify to tell but that's cool. Yeah.
That was the painting I used to paint these paintings with my own hands, really like dipping my hands into the different color bottles.
Wow. So are you a little digression, I suppose, but are you big into painting as well? Because you have all of these wonderful paintings around you. And
I enjoy drawing and sometimes painting. Yeah, but I just like to think myself as an artist, right?
Yeah, in general.
And the art which kind of like burns inside my soul, if we want to be very melodramatic, comes out in different forms, right? So I think
that's great.
It's hard to keep to keep them separated, actually. So it makes a lot of sense to me to combine the different forms of art, and even talking, right? Even talking to you. I love it, right? And it's all part of it. It's all part of the package. And this is one thing that I noticed, that I love actually every aspect of the band, right? Not just the performing or not just the songwriting, but everything, including the marketing and the more boring administrative parts.
Sure. No, I completely agree with you. I mean, I think that's one thing is, for people like you and I, one of the big things we have in common is this kind of sense of entrepreneurship in a way with music. In that, you said that, you had to take matters into your own hands to form the band that you wanted to form, right?
Yes.
And I think that's kind of what it takes for most of us to actually kind of be successful, I think. And I think that as creative people, we have a lot of resistance by default to business, marketing, kind of money. These things are like, oh. But
I can sing a song about that.
Ultimately, you have to kind of learn to embrace that to really kind of set yourself up for success. And
yes,
I completely agree with what you're saying in that I think that when you do embrace it, marketing in itself or branding or things like that really kind of are an art form in a sense. And as you say, like when it comes to like a musical project or like a package that you're creating, like, yes, it is all kind of one big piece of art. I see it that way, and yes, I really enjoy how you explained it too.
I loved how you summed it up, William. Yeah. It's really, really on point.
So with that in mind, then, with that topic, I'm really intrigued. What roles you and Cebu play for this whole kind of operation? Because clearly there's been this progression. You were the kind of person that started everything. You guys had a band, and it's so cool how you had a rawer sound, a bit more in these influences, but then you see those seeds coming through of what you guys are developing into, and then you've kind of got to this point where as a duo you've really kind of developed quite a slick package for everything that you do. So
yes.
You guys have clearly got quite a well oiled machine.
I was thinking of that, an engine.
yeah and so I'm very intrigued on exactly kind of how that works.
Yes, I love this question. I'm gonna answer it right away. I just noticed the other question which you asked regarding the colors developing in the beginning, right? And I just like to answer that real quick until I circle back to this. Yes, you're right. From the beginning, we were having these thoughts about how can we stick out, how to make it more our own, and we started with the colors quite early. That's absolutely true, but it didn't arrive to the music, right? The music was still influenced a lot by our favorite artists, and I would like to say only now, after 4 years, I think we finally managed to also put this individuality and uniqueness. I hope uniqueness. You have to tell me into the music as well. So I think it was a really rough journey, actually, to have this authenticity. I know this is kind of like a buzzword nowadays, but in the all around in the all-around package, right? Like I'm also reading a lot of books about personality development. That's one of my other big passions.
Yeah, me too. That's cool.
We can chat about that as well.
I'm sure we could, yeah.
Yeah, and basically some of my mentors are saying there, you should just be like authentic throughout. Like what you say should be aligned with what you do and should be aligned with what you present on the outside. So just what is in the inside should be in the outside, should be in the music, should be in the image, should be in everything that you do. And I don't know if you noticed, but I just dyed my hair, for example, this year in the Ardenite colors. So the colors were fixed, but now they're also in my hair.
Yeah, it certainly leveled things up.
Yeah, and it really did. Like I have to say, it makes me so happy seeing it in the mirror, just when I wake up and when I brush my teeth, it makes me so happy because it just feels like it's me, like it's real, and it's one level up, as you said. And that's how we finally managed to also bring it into the music now with our last couple of singles. A cyber pop rock, right? This is how we defined it now. And you notice it's still kind of vague. So it has like a possibility.
Sure,
Where could we go? And the last single, Flowers Don't Care, was more on the pop, cyber pop direction. And I can already tell you some of the following ones are going to be more in the cyber rock direction. So we still wanted this little space of,
No, I love that.
A little space of creativity so that it's still, it's not settled into stone, right? Carved into stone. I also learned this about my bandmate Sebo, which I appreciate so much. I'm gonna tell you about him. That he loves to have this freedom of expressing himself. And if in the beginning when I told him let's design this song to fit in this niche, and he was like, oh, I hate it, and then he had some week for himself and he did something totally else, right? So it's completely different. And we notice we need this space of creation, and we don't want to be put in a box, right? So
sure, no artist really does, but at the same time it certainly helps. I think that you've done it really well. I mean, cyber pop rock, it as you say, it gives you that space, but it definitely narrows it down. I think the main thing is that the ideal fan is somebody that's into that whole cyber aesthetic and vibe, right? And there's whether you're doing more pop or rock, it's all still very kind of melodic, and kind of accessible. So I think that it's really good. I mean, overall I'm perhaps a bit more of a rock guy, and Backstabber was the first song that I heard, which is probably the most rocky kind of song that you've got out, or from the more recent ones.
From the more recent ones, for sure.
So I thought, okay, cool. That's what this is, kind of industrial sort of rock in a way. And then when I listened to Flowers Don't Care when that came out, I was actually very pleasantly surprised.
Really?
I mean, I found it really cool, and it's different, but it's certainly similar enough in terms of the vibe, in terms of it being you guys, and so I think that you've really kind of nailed that, giving yourself space, but also kind of it's all well branded. Let's say. I mean, I know that these are killer terms for creative people, aren't they? But it's it feels right. It feels like it goes together, and it gives light and shade in a listening experience. So
William,
really cool.
I'm so happy to hear you say that, because I know you're a very experienced musician, and and even if you, especially since you're coming from the rock side of things, it makes me that much more happy that you say it made sense even with cyber pop.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Flowers Don't Care is the one that's been in my head all week, so cool.
I'm happy about it. I'm the songwriter, so it makes me happy.
Nice.
So this is a perfect transition, I think, for your second question about the division of roles. Absolutely. I also learned this while trying to build this up as a business, right? Because you were saying it's not enough to be an artist, and it's not enough to love the music. You also need this kind of business mindset, right? Where I am very thankful now for my career in IT, because I was handling some IT projects there, some IT teams. So now I'm really thankful for that, because it gave me this business side of things, which I can use a lot also for the band. And that being said, I'm handling that part. I'm handling the business part. I'm also handling the songwriting. So I'm a singer, right? I wouldn't say that I'm a very good guitarist or a very good pianist or something. I really wouldn't say that. I can play a bit of guitar and a bit of piano. So I can kind of like provide the very basic harmonies to the songs I'm writing. And you can imagine our songwriting process, like I provide a skeleton, like a really draft, just for the structure, for the lyrics, for the main melody. And that's it. And that's what Sebo gets from me. Cool. he gets just the main melody with the lyrics and some basic chords. And I just give him that in GarageBand, right? Very proficient tool. And then he just sprinkles all of his production magic onto it. And he's such an amazing dude. I think finally now we got our great, oiled engine, like you said, because he has exactly the other kind of strong suits, which I don't have. So I think we're just very different. And we that's why we like to say that opposites attract. It's very, very good in our case. Just from the band view. So I wanted to say not from a romantic view, but from the band side of things. And he just is a great guitarist. He's a bass player as well. He has some drum knowledge as well, right? So all the things where I'm not proficient at. And he studied, sound production, and so we did all of the recordings, with one exception, what we released so far in his home studio. He produced everything with only that one exception. We're gonna produce the next things also in his studio. So I think it's so cool that we are self-sufficient like that.
Absolutely,
not so dependent on other people. Yes, it was a long journey until we got to this point, actually.
I bet. I mean, that's really cool. I was suspecting that would be the case.
You were
just the way that. I was trying to gauge it, I suppose, and the kind of two characters involved there, and the production is fantastic. So I assume he's essentially the producer.
He's the mastermind.
Nice. And he's able to take the songs from your ideas and the raw kind of form to the professional release. And go on.
Sorry. Please, I didn't want to.
I was just going to say that you mentioned that he studied, and I also thought that kind of lined up with your band's timeline, and the fact that your first release a few years ago, you kind of quote as a demo, and then it's clearly evolved over time to the point that now you have these really slick productions, and that makes sense with somebody producing that's been studying, that's kind of progressed in that way. So
he will be so happy to hear you say that.
Well, I've had a similar journey myself, so I understand.
Wow.
And for the same thing, as you say, it's more just the more kind of self-sufficient you can become, the better. And I was it was always such a big barrier, like the financial investment to record music, especially if you want to record a lot of it. And,
absolutely.
And And even just like when I worked with a producer, I kind of realized like maybe I'm too much of a control freak about it. You know, maybe I want to do the production as well. You know, and then so yeah, a similar kind of trajectory, and obviously you got to start somewhere, and then you get better over time. So
yeah.
So yeah,
And
I understand like you're part of it and Siva's part of it, you know, which is really cool.
That's right. So I'm so thankful to have him, and you know, our friendship deepened a lot over the last years, and especially in this last year, since it's only the two of us. Makes sense also.
Sure, yeah.
But I'm also so proud of you know, his progress. I think it sounds better and better with each song. And, you know, also our trust has deepened so much. Like he has complete trust in my songwriting, right? He doesn't question any of it. He listens to it and he's like, yeah, man, I like this. It's going to be good, right? Like he can visualize it in his head, how it could sound. And this is such a unique thing to find, I think, such a soul in this world which understands your creative process, and not just for what it is, but for what it could be. And I'm really saying this because I worked with quite some musicians before, and it's so seldom, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
To find these people.
When you have a bond like that, for sure, you've got to double down on it. Yeah, and, like you have.
And as you were saying, William, I love that you said it, that Seva was studying music production, and I actually didn't, right? So I didn't study anything related to music. I studied IT.
Sure, yeah.
So that means we also have this unique workflow, which not everybody would be used to, or, you know, just for me, providing him demos like this from my phone, and he's like, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, it's perfect. Perfect teamwork. Sure.
And the other division of task is maybe I'm sure you noticed the social media. Sure. I'm also handling. We were discussing this quite directly, like, okay, how should we go on with the social media appearance? You know, this is obviously a very important part of our marketing, so we need to handle this. How should we do it? And he was like, yeah, please do it.
I bet. Probably a good decision. No
Thanks for that. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but I also feel like it's good because he's like really introverted. He's an introverted guy, and I am more of an extrovert for sure. But still, it was so hard to start. I was so afraid, you know, because of the insecurities, which I think every one of us has, but I also had about, oh no, what will people think about how I look, how I do my makeup? Should I do my makeup every day? And what will they say about my, you know, my accent, about the way that I make mistakes when talking in English?
I think you're speaking pretty well, but yeah, of course, these insecurities, we all have our own, and they all will get the better of us if we don't just power through. So
yeah. And that's why I started actually with the vlogs. Maybe you noticed the Ardenite vlogs in the stories on Instagram. So I challenged myself to start doing daily vlogs on Instagram. And it was really like a challenge to myself, just because I knew how super uncomfortable I felt, and I wanted to get the hang of it, right? Do it on a more regular basis. And also, I can tell you how the vlog started. I was very stuck in my job, in my IT job, and I was really unhappy, you know, because it was also nothing going on with the music. All of the concerts were canceled during this last couple of years. And I was actually just crying one evening to my boyfriend and saying, oh man, what is going on? I want to be doing music. And 2 years ago, everything was better. We were having concerts, and I was doing everything for the band every evening, every day. And he asked me a very simple question. He said, yeah, Wana, but why don't you do everything for the band every day? Also, today, why don't you do something for the band every day? And I was like, I didn't have an answer for that. So I noticed, oh my gosh, it's just up to me. I have to start. So I decided to start the vlogs to challenge myself to do something for the band each day so that I have something to talk about. So I needed to do something, even if it was just one hour of songwriting or 1 hour of trying to distribute it or something, or doing some artwork or working on the website or, handling the merch status or something. But I needed to do something so that I could talk about it. And this is how the vlogs started. And now I am very happy to say, I think I recorded vlog number 175 yesterday.
Wow.
And I have to say, thank you. I have to say it's gotten like a habit now. Like I don't need to force myself to do something because of the vlogs, but it's the other way around. I do a lot of things now every day, and as mentioned, I want to do it full time now. So it's really worked to increase my focus on this. And now I'm actually like, okay, I did so many things. What should I vlog about?
Sure, yeah. But again, as you say, you're in the habit of it now. So you have that muscle trained to be able to come up with
things. That's
right. It's the Ardenite lifestyle. As you say, you look in the mirror and you see the hair now. It's like you're living Ardenite. And that's it. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And it's actually, a bit extreme in the other direction now. Now I'm like, everywhere I go, like, oh, the community would love to see this. Maybe I should vlog about this. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Again, it's a huge thing of, perhaps by default as artists, we want to just, as you say, like kind of be introverted and just make music. And, for sure, I think maybe that's the ideal world for us all. But again, if you really want to set yourself up for success, there's that business side to it. And there's also this kind of, we are sort of all our own media outlet now, but as you say, it's about community as well, and so you're thinking about those people, the people that you can serve.
Oh my gosh, I'm so thankful for the friends, really, like online friends, which we managed to get to know in these last couple of months. So as mentioned, vlog number 175 I started in November last year. Nice. And almost daily, right? So I did it daily for a long time, and then I took 2 weeks break. I needed that. Yeah. And now I got back into it almost daily. So, if there is some emergency on some day, then maybe I'll leave. Sure, I'll leave one day out, but almost daily. And so I started, with the vlogs, and then I wanted to engage people more and more, right? I was thinking about ways, what can I ask them so that they would engage? And, Instagram gives you these tools, right? Like you can ask a question, you can make a poll and stuff like that. And I just asked the question, I put it in the story, and then, almost nobody interacted. Yeah. Nobody, right? Because why would they, right? There was no reason. Why should they invest a couple of seconds of their life to answer to me? Because who are we? We didn't have a connection to each other, so they just scrolled over it. And then I figured, okay, we need to build this connection first. And I started like really investing a lot of time every day, just chatting with people, like really so many people, but I started loving it so much because in the beginning I was just asking questions to keep the conversation flowing, because some people, they answer and they don't ask anything back.
Yeah, sure.
And then it's so hard to keep up the conversation. So I just asking him a lot of questions in the beginning, and I also learned what are the stupid questions which you shouldn't ask because nobody's interested in that. And I learned also there what better questions can I ask to get the conversation flowing. And then something amazing happened. I started to care very deeply for them, right? Like they were saying like, oh yeah, today I'm going to visit my grandmother or something like that. And then I was curious, I was asking the next day, like, hey, how is your grandmother? How was it? So it's really started to evolve into friendships. And now I feel so deeply about some friends, right, from our community, which I met. And they are friends from Uruguay and from Argentina and some friends from Australia. And I really feel, connected to them. Like I want them to be successful. I want to see their next releases. And it evolved into such a nice, constructive, very, very, how should I say, a very, very strong kind of bond, supporting each other on this journey, right? And we feel like we're not alone. We are sharing experience so much, right? And that's also an important topic I wanted to mention. I feel like there's so much, competition going on in the world and also in the music industry. And for me, that doesn't make any sense at all.
No, I agree.
William, what do you think about this?
I agree completely. Everything that you're saying in my mind is absolute gold. Like I'm completely with you every step of the way. I've always actually had that ethos, to be honest. Like I didn't understand the competition aspect. Like I always just thought, hey, we're all kind of like-minded people trying to get to the same place, so we can all, raise each other up.
Yeah,
100%.
And I think, especially in the music, it doesn't make any sense because like what happens if somebody buys the Pretty Reckless T-shirt? Does it mean they will not buy, I don't know, a Hailstorm T-shirt or Queens of the Stone Age T-shirt? No, you can have
that person's
unlimited.
Probably more likely, now they've got their T-shirt collection going.
Okay. That's a great example. But I just wanted to say, like if I love Vukovi, right? It's one of my favorite bands. If I love them and I'm listening to them on Spotify, does it mean I'm not gonna listen to 100 other bands? No, you have unlimited capacity to listen, capacity to go to concerts and to buy their merch, right? So it really doesn't make any sense. I love so many bands and I buy all of their merch and I go to all of their concerts every time they come. So I've seen a couple of them 6 times, 7 times, always go there because I love them. And there's no borders to my loving for music. So that's why it doesn't make sense. And I think it's so important to discuss this topic about envy and this topic about comparing yourself, and especially with the social media, right? Like when you're scrolling through and you're just seeing other musicians which have more likes, have more streams and stuff like that. And we might get a bit in the danger of comparing ourselves or in the danger of feeling some envy and towards them because we're human, right?
Yeah.
But I was also reading something on this topic of envy, and I think while it's normal to feel envy maybe in the first moment because we are human, I think it's very important how we deal with the envy feeling, right? Like do we let it consume us and wear us down to a point that we are paralyzed and feel so bad about our current state that we are not making any further progress? Or do we see it as inspiration, right? As motivation, like, oh, when they managed it, it means it's possible. It means there is a way. Maybe we can even, just if they are maybe friends, then it's even better because then we can share the experience. You can view their success as a success of the team, right? let's behave as a football team,
Yeah.
and just be happy for their success, because then it means, the whole team is gonna progress.
Yeah. I share your philosophy completely. Yeah. Which is probably why we're here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean both of us clearly like try and practice that. As you say, like I kind of like to just allocate time to just investing in, kind of unconditionally reaching out to people and being supportive and being positive, because I think that, that is what helps kind of create abundance in a way, is to just be outwardly positive, and, then it will kind of come back to you universally in a way,
Yeah, in ways we don't expect.
Exactly. Just let go. Just be positive, be supportive, and yeah, good things will come.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say, William, I'm so happy we're doing this. It's a lot of
Me
fun.
too.
And just so happy I found you over Instagram, and
Yeah.
I noticed your other posts about your podcast episodes, and I just loved your topics. Like, they were such deep, helpful topics, and I was like, oh man, I want to talk with you. It's gonna be great, I'm sure. And it is.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. I mean, I definitely enjoy kind of getting into these deeper topics more, as opposed to just, everyday standard interview questions. And I mean, definitely we've got quite a few good points already from this episode. I really love some of the things that you've had to say. I also think that there's some really important things there to take away, especially for people looking to do anything similar, which is also something I would like to do, be able to kind of provide more kind of help and information and stuff through this podcast. Like if people are trying to come up as an artist themselves or anything similar. And yeah, some of the things that you've had to say here, I think are really solid pieces of advice. I think a real key that you said there is about making that connection with an audience. Like that could be the most important aspect or it's certainly one of them. And I think, actually, whether you like it or not, probably more important than your music or, anything else, because if you can do that, if you can really kind of create a community and, really kind of get people invested in what you're doing in that way, then yeah, you can kind of do anything from there. Obviously it certainly helps if you have, a good idea of the music and everything else that comes into it, because then they know exactly what they are getting themselves in for. But
absolutely.
Yeah, spending that time one way or another, you can kind of take any marketing technique you want, but really, when it comes down to it, you can't get around that. Like, especially in this day and age where it's more about independent artists able to kind of market direct to their fans. That's more important than ever, I think, and increasingly will be more so. This really kind of valuable sense of connection from between the artists and the fans and the community involved, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, especially since there's so many artists who produce themselves right at home. So I think there's maybe more music than ever produced out there.
Gotta be.
And yeah, and then it's easy to get overloaded. So then I think it's only possible with something like this, right? With a direct connection to, just to reach their hearts, as I was saying. And, side effect, they reach your heart as well.
Yeah, that's it. As you say, it's just about making loads of friends, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. I love that you're saying that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So, yeah, really cool. I mean, from that standpoint then of, I suppose the kind of marketing aspect of it, even though as you can tell here, it's really bigger than that. It's kind of deeper than that, especially with art. It is all about connection and emotion, these things. But I can tell though that you have clearly put a lot of thought into your marketing and just your kind of content creation and schedule and all of that. I'm really kind of interested to kind of learn a bit more about your process there. The kind of big standout thing being that I see how you create a song and then you really go big on that song and you create all these different videos for it and all these different versions for it. And that's fantastic. I mean, that's really good practice, I think, for artists in this day and age. But yeah, you'll have like a music video, a lyric video, a visualizer, making of the music video with the song, all the reels which are featuring the song. I mean, yeah, that's how to do it. And your music videos are fantastic as well. I was going to say especially the recent ones that go with the kind of polished production aesthetic as well. But to be honest, even the early one was still a great video. Like you still clearly had this vision for the cinematography. So I'm really intrigued to kind of learn a bit more about that side of things.
Okay. Yeah. So the funny thing is, in November when I started with the vlogs, when I actually took over the social media of us, I didn't know anything about marketing, anything. Yeah. So I said, okay, Wana, this is your opportunity to learn more about this topic. And I started, for example, I can give you a very hot tip for everybody listening. I started watching the videos of Damien Keys. Maybe you know him.
I was suspecting Damien Keys. I mean, to be honest, I was curious. I was thinking to ask if you had any specific resources and references. And from your approach, I was definitely thinking that Damien Keys was perhaps an influence. Yeah, I'm definitely familiar with.
Damien Keys is an influence for sure. He helps a lot. That's for sure. I also bought his program, like his big program. The thing is, I didn't get to go so deep into it as I would wish because I'm still working full time and doing the band. But I hope to be able to dive even more deeper now in the summer. So I'm looking forward to that.
I joined it at first when he first brought it out.
Great.
The DK Academy, something.
Yeah, MBA, exactly. Yeah.
MBA Academy. I joined it when he first released it, and I watched everything that was on there. And
you watched everything.
I checked it, but there was obviously much less at first, and then I checked it out a bit down the line as well. But yeah, it's really cool. I followed Damien for years.
Great.
He makes good stuff. I'm always searching for this kind of thing, just learning. But anyway, please continue about your experience with it.
Yeah, so I wanted to say I also have the program, but the thing is, I watched, almost every day when eating during lunch. I watch one of his YouTube videos. So he also has for free very many interesting YouTube videos, which you don't even need to pay for, right? So I just enjoy listening to his voice while I eat, and sometimes something sticks, right? Some idea sticks, and actually, I also love this about him, that he changes his strategy like every month or something. He has a new idea. He keeps a close watch on the evolution, of TikTok, and also the evolution of the aggregators, right? DistroKid, TuneCore, and so on. And he just provides his newest thoughts. And this is also what I love. He's just like planting a seed, right? Like maybe this could help you. Maybe this could help you. But actually, he's leaving all of the responsibility in the artist's hands, right? So we still need, first of all, to do it by ourselves, and second of all, to see if it works for us particularly. So what you saw on our platforms are different experiments actually. Did a lot of videos, a lot of experiments. I really started loving cutting videos. It's really like one of my fun activities in the evening now. And yeah, I just post different things and see what works better. And it's all a work in progress for sure. So I couldn't say exactly what might go a bit viral, get a couple of thousand views. I couldn't say for sure now. So we're still in this experimental phase where we're posting different things. Random thought. I posted a little reel of my cat once with the backstabber video. It went a bit viral, right? So with the cat, it was great, right? Then I tried something with puppies, right? It didn't go as well. I was like, what? Cats are better than puppies?
Internet says yes.
Seems like yes. At least in the algorithm. Yeah. So I tried to find this balance between things that I am really passionate about and things which seems to engage the audience, seems to engage the algorithm as well. So it's all like a big discovery channel here.
I think that's just the right mindset to have and the right philosophy. And as Damien kind of suggests as well, like you should be just making a lot of stuff. You should be kind of not afraid to get stuck in with that. I think that's the kind of ethos he pushes a lot. And yeah, I think that's true. It's definitely. Again, I remember we spoke recently on Instagram. It came across, or I think you made a post about like perfectionism and stuff.
Yes.
Like that, things like that. And I think that this is probably a common trait for a lot of artists. A lot of people can relate to that, I think. And this is a good example of it, really. That someone might not want to post anything until they've created some perfect thing, because essentially it comes from this place of ultimately they're probably afraid of people judging them for that work, right? And yeah, I think obviously there's this element of overcoming that and the whole mindset aspect of things, which is really so important. But but yeah, really, I think in this day and age and the rate of kind of consumption and whatnot, the more things that you can just be putting out there and just trying out, the better. So, setting yourself to a daily vlog, as a kind of minimum template is definitely, very admirable for one, but also a great plan of action, I think.
It sure got me going. Yeah. And yeah, I love the thing. I love the fact that you mentioned the post about perfectionism. I struggle so hard with that, especially.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Happy I'm not alone. If you remember Love Drug Addict, right? This was the first thing we ever released, the first song and the first music video. And oh my gosh, I was having like really anxiety attacks before of that, because I was, so self-conscious and but what will people think about me doing that shape with my mouth when I sing? Nobody cares actually. Yeah. But I was so concerned about that. And actually my mindset changed a lot over the years, because I was stuck in that almost a stupid mindset, I would say, that you would produce a song very, very hard, for a couple of months, then also record a video, edit it for 2 months, and then you put it out there, and it's already so complicated to put it out there that you're then like, okay, now I'm exhausted. This was my job. Now, internet, do your thing and make me rich, right? What? And harsh
that's
reality.
The death of innocence for an artist.
Yes. And harsh reality check, of course. Nothing happens over that. Maybe you have a couple of 100 views in the first day, and then nothing, right? It just dies right off, and it feels terrible. It feels like all of the effort was for nothing, or as if your song is dying, your baby, right? My songs are my babies. Sometimes I like to say that. Yeah. And it's kind of a very stupid mindset to be stuck in, because you're making yourself like the victim, right? The victim of other people having the power over your success, right? Which you don't want to be in that position. And that meant, first of all, taking the power back in our hands, handling the marketing ourselves. Maybe the people would like it and would like even to see it, but it just didn't got to them. Maybe
for sure.
Maybe they were in different time zones and they were sleeping, or I don't know, maybe they were just it was just going under all of the other content, right? So there's so many reasons. Or maybe they most genuinely wanted to listen, but they forgot or something. So it's very, very many explanations why they didn't listen. And that's where one-on-one comes again into action. Showing it to them one-on-one in the DMs or whatever. Again, not only, hey dude, check out my new track, but really like talking about this relationship,
it's nurturing
first.
Relationship.
That's right. And I also believe in this. You have to invest something in the relationship before you can
take out of it.
Take out of it, right? So it just doesn't work. And it makes you a bit more maybe they even dislike you then. I noticed this for me, when somebody I don't know just asks something of me, I'm just like, dude, what? For sure, I'm not gonna do that. Like, who are you? Like, right?
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Again, it's just human nature, isn't it?
That's right.
You just gotta think like a normal person.
Yeah. So the one-on-ones are so important, right? To really show it to them, and it takes so much time, for sure. But like, what is time, right? Like, do you have a deadline until you are successful? No, right? You can do it for a couple of years and even longer. So taking the time to have these chats and to show them individually the track after a couple of chats, right? When it makes sense, when it feels right. It gets such a great response, right? And you also have that connection. So they start to feel with you, and they're like, oh wow, another release. Let me see it. And then they're like, oh wow, it's such a nice progression from the last one. And it really means something then to them and to us. And the motivation then only grows, right? Also for us and also for them. And the most difficult thing for me to let go of was thinking that this song right here, which I was, nurturing for a long time, this is maybe not the one, right? This is maybe not the one. This is just one step in the process. And this was terribly hard for me. It actually, right now I'm getting goosebumps because it's still hard. Because I put so much of my soul in each and every one, but still I had to let go, right? And say, you are a very important piece, but you're not like the end goal, right? So right now what we're trying to achieve is maybe, hopefully, that each release is a bit more visible than the previous one. Maybe more people see it, or maybe more people react to it, more people can feel it, can correlate with it, and put it in their playlist. And then it's already great if it's a progress from the previous one, right?
100%, absolutely. And then you learn from that, and you move on. But as you say, it's a stepping stone, and on the journey. And
it's absolutely very correlated to the perfectionism topic, right? Because maybe you love your own song so much, but you're not perfect, and your song is also not perfect, and probably you're never going to be perfect, right? So
it doesn't exist in that capacity.
That's right. So I'm sure you learn a lot of things from each of your release, and you can write an even greater one in the next try.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's how to stay motivated, really. You know, as creative people, we should always be scratching that itch and always looking to do better
Yeah.
on the next one. You know,
Yeah.
so
And I think the only way to stay motivated is if you really love doing it, right?
hmm yeah, enjoy the process for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, and
Yeah.
again, that can be a difficulty with like perfectionism and things. There's often so much frustration involved in that you just ruin it for yourself. You know, so. Yeah, just like know that you've got a song to make and enjoy making that, and then next month there's going to be another one.
Yeah, and Seba also says when you're 90% satisfied, then it's good. You can let it out there. You can let it out there.
I had the same philosophy. That was actually, in terms of actually curbing perfectionism in a practical way, I used a similar mentality. I had music that I had going on for years and wasn't releasing anything. And it wasn't until I developed that mindset of like, do you know what? I need to make an album now and I don't have forever. So, if I can be like, well, they say 90%. I even like to think I had such bad perfectionism that I just thought, okay, I'm just going to go for 80%.
Oh.
if I can say like, yeah, that's good, then that's good enough.
Yeah.
And in reality, it is probably more like 90 something percent, there. But when you're a bad perfectionist, you have to be willing to just be like, no, do you know what? If it's good enough, like if that can go out, and people can enjoy that, then time to move on. You gotta just give yourself some boundaries.
And it's not only that that maybe some people don't even notice the little flaws that you maybe notice.
Not.
Yeah.
No, I think 100% doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like, that's just mythical. Like at best you could get maybe 97 or something.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. And but I wanted to say, some people, I mean, maybe all of the people don't even want perfect. They just want stuff from you. They want more stuff to listen to, right? Like I also had this realization on my own when I said, I didn't listen to our own music for a long time. And then I was in a car ride with somebody and they said, oh, you have a band? Great. Show us some of your music. And I was like, yeah, we're on Spotify. And they was like, oh, great. Let's listen to your music on Spotify. And then we had 3 songs out. And we only had those 3 songs. So they were playing in a loop. And I was like, man, this is annoying AF, right? Like if somebody really likes our music and they want to hear more, but they just can't because we didn't release, right? So that's we were really shooting ourselves in the knee there. And I was like, oh no, we need to release more, and so that people who really enjoy it can enjoy it and not be stopped by the low number of it, right? So that that was just one of our goals, to have enough music out there so the people could enjoy it in a loop without getting tired of it.
Yeah. And I mean, just as a side note as well, people complain a lot about streaming and Spotify and everything, of course, but the way to play the streaming game is with catalog.
Absolutely.
Artists that earn from streaming, they have big catalogs. I heard something the other day, which is apparently on average, like the average artist that breaks already has something like 36 tracks.
Oh, but
something
36, like 36 doesn't even sound so much, right? Like,
well, it's doable for sure.
It's doable.
But, I mean, the point is, again, it's just putting it in perspective, because a lot of people, again, especially from the perfectionist mindset or somebody that is still trying to kind of get out in those early stages, it's really not a case of the fact that you're going to release one song and then going to go, you know what I mean? And so, it's all about getting your head down and making these stepping stones and playing that trajectory and building a catalog, and maybe after 36 songs or something, then you could start to think, all right, maybe we can get somewhere with streaming or whatever,
And exactly what you commented on our perfectionism post, you wrote something about perfectionism is just another form of procrastination, right? And this is exactly it, right? Like don't stand between your own success and yourself, right? Like
to be honest, you are the biggest thing standing in the way of your own success, right? I mean, you said you enjoy all of the kind of personal development and things like that, and that's kind of almost the fundamental of it, really, isn't it?
Yes.
So maybe it's a cliche, but mindset is everything with that, and
absolutely,
perfectionism is just another one of those tropes that can get in the way for us as artists, for sure.
That's right. And I was happy to hear you say that you mentioned 36, right? It seems
I think
manageable.
That was the number that came to, it was something along those lines.
It's much, right? It's many songs. It's like I don't know, 3 albums, but it seems manageable, because what I heard from Damien Keys the other day, he was saying the top 5 Spotify earners, like Ed Sheeran and Drake and stuff like that, they have a couple of hundred, right? And I was like,
they must,
damn, okay,
exactly. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it, right? Let's have it as inspiration.
Again, though, it does take using your creativity, and that's that key word again in terms of like marketing, how that can actually be a creative topic. It doesn't necessarily have to be as linear as one might think. So one might think, oh, well, it cost me a lot of money, or a lot of work, at least, even if you're self-producing, to make a song. But if you kind of think outside the box a little bit, you can do what you guys are doing, which is you have a song, right? But then you also put the instrumental version out, and maybe you do a acoustic version or an alternative version, Flowers Don't Care metal version, where you've taken the same session but you've added some heavier guitars and things like that, so these are now multiple tracks on Spotify and such, and you've given people more to listen to. And so whilst somebody might listen to this and think like, oh, I'm nowhere near 36 songs, I'm gonna go one at a time, and it's going to take me years and years and years, or it's impossible.
That's such a great tip. It's really great.
Certainly. Open your mind, think outside the box. I mean, perhaps I'm giving the tip, but you're the one that's really doing it. I've just taken from looking at what you guys are doing, which is really cool.
And it's the same with the videos, right?
Yeah.
So we're just trying, to optimize all the time, to optimize like what is the most kind of content we can get from this video shoot, for example. And we don't want to meet up on 6 consecutive days to shoot 6 videos. That it would be pretty crazy for the time investment. Of
course, yeah.
So actually all of the videos which we create usually happen on one day, right? So we're like, okay, let's just have a look around what could also be interesting to the audience. And for example, for the Backstabber lyric video, we just filmed our props, right? Like all of the props that we used for the video, and we thought these are cool props. The people would like to see those. And it's another video, right? It's another visual, and it's not spamming, right? Because
it's a new piece of content. It's something new to see. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Right.
I think that was probably the biggest indicator where I thought about Damien Keys, because he does talk about doing these kinds of things, and where I saw you guys doing it so well, I wonder if there's an inspiration there. But, I mean, so like I liked how you did that with like the making of a music video, because when I saw that as a title, I thought, oh cool, maybe this is kind of like a documentary type clip. But essentially how you did it is like you've taken all the real footage that you've picked up on that same day, as you say, of recording the music video. You're just also filming behind the scenes, actually like setting up and making it. And then you comp all that footage into, you just set that to the song as well. And it's essentially like another music video. But again, it's new. It's new content, gives new insight to fans, but it gets them playing the song again. So very cool.
Then of course we hope that if the people listen to it more, then it maybe sticks, right? Maybe.
Well, I said that I had that song on my head for a week, and it certainly helps when you've watched the music video and the and the lyric video and the making of video, and and then all of the reels on Instagram or whatever, and then I go and listen to it on Spotify because you're like, oh, did you check it out on Spotify? Give us a follow. And I'm like, okay, all right, I'll go give them a follow. And now I've heard this song like 7 times, and how can it not be in my head? As long as it's a good song, which it is. So,
Oh,
that's how you do it.
Well, I'm glad it's working.
Yeah, it seems to be. I mean, you guys have great engagement as well, which it was obviously testament to, your methodology, but philosophy as well.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I really enjoy this conversation, which then emerge in the comments. Because also this is a hot tip. don't let the comments, just die out by saying thanks. Right? That's really
or saying nothing. A lot of people don't even reply to the comments.
Oh, that's just disrespectful, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly. Come on,
people
reply to the comments, but. Yeah.
Take the effort to write some appreciative comments and then not even reply. That's a missed opportunity.
It's a missed opportunity for again, the first and foremost thing, which is a connection with the people, the potential fans and friends ultimately. But then it's also like, it's literally like one of the most important statistics on your post, right? Like if you want that post to perform well, the more comments it gets, like the better. There's not much more you can do, like to manually push that post out there. So
and it's not just your opportunity to connect with this person, which obviously is a potential fan, right? If they enjoy it already so much that they comment something, but maybe also some other people from the community would like to join in that conversation, and then some
that's
friendships could happen like that.
Definitely, that's the the ideal scenario for sure. That's when it really turns into a community.
Yes. I actually have a very nice story with that situation. I was just getting to know some people which also love Infected Rain, because I love Infected Rain. I was all of their Vienna concerts since 5 years ago. And we also opened up for them once.
Did you?
In 2019.
Wow, that's so cool.
That was a dream come true. Yeah, opening for one of your favorite bands. It was really awesome. Cool. And I was just vibing with 2 guys on Instagram, and one of them was from the US and one of them was from Norway. And the one from the US just asked me, "Oh, I noticed you also was talking with the guy from Norway. He's my bro, right? He's my Infected Rain brother." And I was like, "Damn, how cool is that?" Like they never met, but they feel like they're such good friends just because they met in the Infected Rain community. So I think that's wonderful, and I would love it if 2 people from the world would meet in our community, in our Ardenite community. It would be freaking 100%. Awesome.
Yeah. I'm completely with you. I mean, the internet has its pros and cons in terms of, connection in human beings and whatnot. But I think that's it. That is the way forward. And ultimately, the fact that you can kind of connect with people who really share interests or, philosophies with you, you might have a lot more in common with those people than the ones that just happen to be in your village or whatever, so it's great,
It's really awesome, the magic of the internet.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm interested, just because you mentioned about opening up for Infected Rain, which is super cool. Obviously in 2019, that's when you had more of a full band lineup, and obviously we've had somewhat of a gone off course somewhat with the whole lockdown in terms of live music industry. For you guys now as a duo, is live music a part of what you guys do, or what's the kind of thing there?
At the moment, we don't have any live concerts planned, but we can't wait to go out there again. We're working towards that.
Cool.
The thing is, as you mentioned, we were having the live concerts in 2019 when we were still the four of us. And now as a duo, we need to change it up a bit, right? Either switch up the program to be able to play it with 2 persons, or maybe get a session drummer or something like that. So we need to change a bit the format for sure.
The backing track with the synths.
The synths, exactly. So a couple of things need adjustment. We cannot just go the 2 of us and play with a guitar. It's not enough. So it's a bit more preparation needed. And besides that, at the moment, we have 5 or 6 songs out. So we want to gather a few more to establish a longer set, right? Because with the 6 songs, I guess we can play for 20 minutes live, but it's not too long. So
apologies. Well, I was going to ask if you would still play those early songs. But then I suppose it's a great question.
It's a great question, actually. No apology necessary. We actually don't want to play the old songs like we played them before. Not even if we had backing tracks for them, because we started some studio work with those songs, and we changed them up quite a bit. So also because the couple of persons who left, and then we changed the whole vibe of the songs, because you can imagine they emerged maybe a couple of years back when we were like a rock band, right? Typical rock band. And it was sounding like that also from the arrangement, and that's what we performed. And now the songs have also grown with us, the first ones which we played back then, and we want to give them a proper revival with the new, the new knowledge, the new sounds, and the new Ardenite feeling. And there will be also cyber pop rock songs, which means we want to give them this kind of proper releases. And also something which I learned, this amazing engagement which you were mentioning with our community, which now finally starts happening, right? Now I wouldn't want to miss it, actually. Now, if I will play live again, I want to play only the songs which we released, because then I think, the people would be so happy to listen to the songs which they already have a strong connection with. And I think that's the strategy we're after right now. And that means we're working a lot. Already have a couple more songs in progress, in parallel right now. We're going to continue our release strategy every 2 months, releasing a new music with new videos. And I think, maybe in half a year, we're going to have enough to perform live again. So
that's so good.
Working towards that.
Awesome. That's so cool. I just to loop back a little bit, just because I'm interested with the music videos, especially these ones you're making recently. Are you doing these in some kind of DIY fashion as well, or is that a big thing that you outsource, that you invest into? Because your videos are fantastic.
Oh, thanks so much. I'm happy you love them. Well, it depends. I think the first 3 we did ourselves, so no other person involved. But cool. The last 2, so especially Backstabber and Flowers Don't Care, were with extra video crew, which we're trying to find also the like-minded people, like you said, which understand the vision, understand the aesthetics of the cyberpunk, right? And also, that's not enough that they have the skills and understand the aesthetics, but also the work ethic is so important to us. So we're experimenting with a couple of friends and acquaintances who are into video, and yeah, I think slowly we got also our video production team together for the high quality official music videos, and we can't wait to produce with them again. So
Great.
and it's gonna be great. But in parallel to that, there's gonna be a lot of footage in the reels and self-produced footage from my phone. I also have a better camera now, but I think the phone is completely enough for.
Well, it's good
videos.
to have that impromptu, like for the vlogs
That's
and
right.
things like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
cool.
regarding the official music videos, we got a small video crew now as well.
Nice.
A couple of friends.
Super cool. I mean, it pays off. The whole kind of production, everything looks fantastic, and obviously the photo shoots that you're doing. I love those ones from Backstabber with the gas masks and things like that. Super cool. Yeah.
What a fun one that was. Yeah, we should make that into merch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in regards to that, like I noticed, I saw you guys have your website is ardenite.net, I believe.
Yes.
And on there you mentioned, well, you have the merch that goes to your Bandcamp, I think.
At the moment, that's right.
And then you just have your kind of songs available digitally there.
Exactly. We're still building up our website, so it's not the final form.
Sure.
We'll let you know as soon as it's finished. But yes, at the moment, we have the merch available on Bandcamp. We got a couple of T-shirts, and also yes, you can also purchase the available releases as WAV files. And we don't have a merch store yet, but we are still selling our merch privately, right? So in case somebody is interested in our merch or even the paintings, all of them are for sale. Just hit us, hit me up in the DMs. I'll be chatting with you and sending everything over.
Oh, fantastic! Oh man, yeah. I didn't see any T-shirts, things like that. I'd love to have a look because I think with the bold colors and the visuals and things that you guys have, I'm sure you could do really well, make some great merch. So yeah, really cool.
Yeah. So please have a look. Right now we have one with the Ardenite logo, and I'm thinking right now actually what could we do next? Maybe something from the photo shoot. I would love that myself.
That look with the backstabber look, yeah, definitely very cool. I could see that.
I'll sure look into that. Yeah.
So I feel like we could probably talk about lots of things for ages, but we've already been going on for quite a while. So is there anything in particular that you would like to mention, like before we sign off?
Oh man, yeah, I feel the same way, William. I actually forgot the time.
I know, me too.
I just enjoyed it so much, and I really hope that we can stay in contact. I'd love to chat with you about so much more things. So maybe we can do this another time, part 2.
Definitely, yeah.
Dive into other topics like self-development, maybe. Different books which inspired us on the way, because I don't know, for me it feels like it's all very interwoven, right? Like
it certainly is. Yeah,
you were asking me about marketing inspirations, and it's not just Damien Keyes, right? Like it's also other types of books which still help me for our music, right? So I think it's just so cool to talk with you. So I'm really thankful for this chat we were able to have.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast, and 100% look forward to doing this again sometime.
For sure. And I really wish you the best of luck with your podcast growth.
Thank you.
It's really amazing. Like you put so much heart into this. I can feel it.
I appreciate that. Cool. All right. Well, let's keep in touch and sign it off there for now.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Creating a Universe. A big shout out to Wana White of Ardenite for joining me today. I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. Be sure to check out the band at ardenite.net and on all your favorite socials at Ardenite. Their music is available on all major streaming platforms, and if you'd like to support the band, their music and merch is available now on Bandcamp. That's all for this episode. I'll see you next time.